Imagine being one of the most powerful figures in entertainment, then suddenly, everything you build crashes down overnight. Sean Diddy Combs isn't the evil genius people think. He might actually be Hollywood's biggest victim. You probably heard about the recent scandal surrounding Diddler, lawsuits, accusations, and wild parties. The media paints him as a monster, but there is something way bigger and darker behind all this. Today, I'm diving deep to reveal why Diddy isn't the puppet master here. He might actually be the puppet. Let's step back to the early days when Hollywood conspiracies first got weird. In the 1960s and 70s, a guy named Anton LaVey founded the Church of Satan. Celebs like Sammy Davis Jr. and Jane Mansfield hung out with him. Sounds wild, right? This wasn't just celebrity gossip. Hollywood's always flirted with darkness and hidden clubs. Fast forward to the 80s and the 90s, the Illuminati became pop culture's favorite conspiracy. Suddenly, everybody believed the music industry was controlled by some hidden, shadowy group. Tupac called it the Illuminati. People said Jay-Z flashed Illuminati signs at concerts. Beyoncé became a high priestess. Basically, anyone famous became suspect number one. But hold on, before we dive into why Diddy is getting slammed harder than anyone else, let's look at the main man himself. Sean Combs built an empire. He started Bad Boy Records, discovered legends like Notorious B.I.G., and three parties that made Gatsby look tame. His reputation was flashy, extravagant, and over the top. But rumors always swirled around darker stuff happening behind closed doors. Rumors that went way beyond champagne and dance floors. So how did Diddy suddenly go from hero to villain overnight? The explosion happened in November 2023 when Cassie Ventura, Diddy's girlfriend of over a decade, dropped a lawsuit accusing him of horrifying abuse, drugging, assault, and forcing her into shocking situations she called freak-offs. Now, this wasn't just gossip. This was a court case, and within 24 hours, Diddy paid up, reportedly handing Cassie around $100 million. But here's where it gets strange. Cassie knew about all this for years and stayed. Many wondered, why now? Why speak out at this moment and instantly settle? Some say Cassie finally had the courage to expose him. Others think there is something way deeper, that Diddy was specifically chosen to fall from grace. Immediately after Cassie's lawsuit, dozens more accusations flooded in. People talked about parties, drugs, exploitation, stuff that seemed too twisted to be true. Federal charges followed, accusing Diddy of sex trafficking and racketeering. It got real serious real fast, and honestly, it's the kind of downfall Hollywood rarely sees. But wait, this kind of behavior wasn't new in Hollywood. Harvey Weinstein, R. Kelly, Jeffrey Epstein, Hollywood's known about these predators forever. Why out of everyone was Diddy suddenly the sacrificial goat? Here is a theory that's gaining steam. Diddy wasn't actually the one pulling these strings. Instead, he might have been the product of an abusive industry that chews people up and then spits them out like a chewing gum. Enter Clive Davis, the legendary music executive who practically built Diddler's career from scratch. Industry insiders hint that Davis groomed Diddy, introduced him to the lavish lifestyle, the parties, and possibly darker behaviors. Jago Wright, a former music insider, openly accused Clive Davis of manipulating Diddler, saying he shaped him into the person he became. Wright's not alone. Suge Knight, one of Diddy's biggest rivals, echoed similar claims from prison. Both suggested Diddy was pushed into this lifestyle by powerful mentors, hinting at a darker puppet master behind the scenes. Think about it. Why target Diddy and not the countless other powerful, wealthy elites who've had equal or worse allegations against them? Jeffrey Epstein hosted horrifying, documented abuses on his private island. Weinstein abused dozens openly for decades. Yet the spotlight, the scandal, and the public humiliation right now falls almost exclusively on Diddy. Here is the deal. Hollywood loves a good scapegoat. Historically, whenever scandals threaten powerful groups, they throw someone under the bus. Diddy, with his flamboyant parties, flashy lifestyle, and past controversies, made him the perfect candidate. He became the ideal distraction, a classic "look over here, not there" scenario. But let's look deeper into Cassie's role. She's an important key here. Cassie, who lived through years of abuse and finally spoke out, settled almost immediately. Many speculate that she might have been pressured into silence by forces even more powerful than Diddler himself, forces that wanted this lawsuit quickly resolved to prevent bigger revelations. Let's be clear, this does not erase what Diddy allegedly did, but the speed of Cassie's settlement and her sudden public silence afterward is suspicious. It feels like someone desperately wanted to contain the damage, and fast. And this isn't isolated. Hollywood is full of hidden secrets protected by money and influence. Parties rumored to involve extreme excess, rituals and bizarre behaviors pop up constantly. Stanley Kubrick famously exposed this elite culture in Eyes Wide Shut, hinting at hidden power and secret societies. The Bohemian Grove, a real event where elites perform strange ceremonies, proves these aren't just tall tales. Now, let's add another layer. The idea that Diddy might have been complicit, but not necessarily by choice. Once he hit the upper tiers of the industry, he found himself among people who use fear or blackmail to get what they want. Refusing to play along can cost you everything: money, fame, even personal safety. So did Diddler choose to become the mastermind? Or was he simply following the orders of those holding the real power? There is also a psychological aspect. When someone lives surrounded by constant access, drugs, private parties, limited resources, losing your moral compass can happen real fast, but that doesn't automatically make you the top conspirator. Maybe Diddy was just the most visible face of a deeper operation. Race might play a role too. Black men in America who achieve extreme success often face heightened scrutiny. Some believe that narrative is now being wielded against Diddler, especially by those who think no black mogul gets this big without a deal with the devil. It's possible powerful entities are exploiting those biases to paint Diddler as an arch villain while others walk around free. Follow the money, and you'll find big payoffs like Cassie's that don't simply vanish. Settlements often involve gag orders, armies of lawyers, and hush-hush deals to keep bigger names off the radar. If Diddy was the real boss of it all, wouldn't he have neutralized these threats long before they spiraled out of control? Instead, he looks caught off guard, suggesting his power wasn't what we assumed. That's the real issue. It's easier for the elite to sacrifice one figure than to risk exposing an entire system. For example, the JFK assassination situation. Diddy, despite his fame, never truly controlled Hollywood's upper echelon. He danced to their tune until they decided he was no longer useful, then they cut these strings. Jaguar Wright put it simply: if we really want justice, we can't just stop at Diddler. We must unmask the entire machine, all the insiders who watched or participated. The real question is whether the public will care enough to dig deeper, or settle for the sensational headlines of one man's downfall. Hollywood conspiracy theories aren't new, but sometimes the truth is even uglier. As the Diddler saga continues, we should remember there is often more going on beneath the surface, almost like an iceberg. Maybe Diddy's biggest mistake was believing he was one of them until he learned the hard way that he wasn't. So what happens now? Diddy faces trial. His entire empire is at risk. But while everyone fixates on him, the puppet masters remain in the shadows, protected by unimaginable wealth and power. If they can crush someone like Diddler, imagine what else they can do. Do you think Diddy is truly the villain, or is he being sacrificed by a darker Hollywood conspiracy? Is this just one chapter in a secret history of exploitation, or is it our chance to finally shine a light on Tinseltown's grim underbelly? One more crucial point to consider is the government's role in all this. Federal investigations aren't launched on a whim, especially not into high-profile figures. When agents show up at a millionaire's door, it's often because they suspected a network of powerful individuals. Could Diddler be the smallest piece in a bigger puzzle? Or is he the lone target they plan to topple while the real puppet masters slip away? If you thought this was eye-opening, smash that subscribe button. You won't believe what else is hiding right in front of us. Peace out.